edition of the Sports One. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. And once again, it is the Barnes and Tony Show. Anthony, how are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful, baby. Beautiful Thursday morning. The sun is shining upon us, Brian.
And if anybody didn't catch it, we had an excellent edition of the Gaming Corner last night.
Dude.
Me versus Tony, PGA 2K23. We were just talking about it. What a game. What a life.
Dude, first of all, that was my first time playing, obviously. I mentioned it in the show. So much fun, that game.
Yeah.
And it really isn't like people think, oh my God, like you're going to play 18 holes. Like, Jesus, like it's going to take all night. It doesn't take that much at all, honestly. It definitely takes longer to play the show, like a full 9.
Yeah.
For sure, dude, for sure. And it was just, it's a great game to just be, bullshitting around to maybe, have some food while you're playing too, dude.
There's some murmurs and peppies next week. And the thing is, it's not just that, they have the career mode. They have the Top Golf. They have the course designer. I've never done that because I think that probably takes months to design a course. But then also the fact that they have their official courses, but then they give you the ability to post the course that you make. So even though there's regular courses that aren't made by the game, there's players that actually make those courses and you can play them. So there isn't Augusta on there with copyright. They got to name it differently and stuff. But like I said, what a game. What a life.
Yeah.
But so much to talk about. Obviously, we got Thursday night football tonight, the World Series last night, the Lakers off the schneid 2-game winning streak.
Wow.
And then the Rangers back in action tonight as well.
Ooh, big
so
time.
A lot to discuss, but let's start in the world of the National Football League.
Ooh.
6 for 101, 2 touchdowns. To Evans, touchdown, Tampa Bay. How about that throw? Sam Darnold blasted. Oh my goodness, did he take a hit? In trouble, what? Brings him down. Lost one for Odell Beckham Jr. Got it down, touchdown.
All right. So just, we obviously Thursday night football week 9 starting tonight. But before we get there, just some news around the league. The first one, Bradley Chubb, one day after the trade to the Dolphins, agrees on a 5-year contract worth $110 million.
Wow.
With some incentives that could boost it to 111.25. And then you consider what he's making this year on the 5th-year option. It's 6 years, $119 million to be a member of the Miami Dolphins. So a big deal. And I think it just makes sense. You're giving up a lot of draft capital. I know he hasn't played a game for the organization yet, but when you make that type of commitment, it makes sense to have him for the long term.
Yeah.
He's younger. Those are the type of guys you want to invest in.
Yeah, exactly. You mentioned his youth. He certainly is young. And on top of that, I mean, I feel like he's just going to be a great tool for them, kind of regardless of what happens, something you can kind of build around here. We talked about, pass rushers and everything like that. I mean, it's going to be huge for them. Good sign.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the other news, much maligned Washington Commanders owner Dan Snyder. There's reports after yesterday they announced the feds are investigating their finances, something about not giving deposits back on refundable things and not giving other teams their share of ticket revenue. All of that that they are exploring selling the team, which they are saying would fetch somewhere around $4 to $5 billion. So obviously a franchise that hasn't done much of recent, but very historic. And the fact too, that you're right outside of that DC area.
Throw a couple shekels up there.
So it's just, it could be a very profitable endeavor.
That's crazy.
For whoever chooses to buy the franchise.
How many owners are there? Is it just him? or is it like a team?
So I'm sure
It's
in
not just
some
him, I'm sure, right?
capacity as the legend Michael Theophil and Renezi enter the door.
What?
I don't know if I've ever said Renezi, Renezi, whatever. We're coming up with stuff on the fly here, but I'm sure there's limited partners, some capacity, but it's really been him, his wife, and then sexual harassment lawsuit. So his wife, technically the acting owner, but it's just been a mess.
That's crazy.
You know, it's an historic franchise, and I'm sure they want to turn it around and get back to their roots. So,
You know how much he bought the team for?
let's look it up.
Oh,
What's your
wow,
guess?
dude. Oh God, I don't even know. When did he even buy the team?
I mean, I think he's been owner for 20 years.
Right? So 20 years ago. I mean, you think it was like a few hundred million?
I'm going to say 200 million. What's your guess?
322.
800 million?
Oh, really?
I think it's 1999.
800 million in
Yeah,
99?
800 million in 1999. Wow.
Dude, that's like fucking where do we get this money from?
No, he's going to get $5 billion.
Yeah. No, he made a significant profit.
But the crazy part is how much higher, you know, football franchises are like versus the NHL. I mean, like I wonder what I want to look up actually because I know it's they're not all less than $1 billion, or are they, Tony? As far as if you're taking a guess here, NHL, they're like the Rangers should be worth over $1 billion, no?
Yeah, Rangers I think would be. I would think like the Kings might be too.
Okay, we have 2 days ago from Sportico.com.
Let's go
rankings here. So
yeah, quick update.
Something to keep an eye out for, but of course it's always like load forever. This that. Okay, so. All right. So actually, let's see. So 11 franchises are worth at least $1 billion.
Okay.
I want you to name the top 5. Go.
All right. Top 5. Okay. So I'll give you Rangers.
Yep. And this is not in like a particular
right.
Because I know that's kind of tough.
Rangers, Bruins.
Bruins, yes.
LA Kings.
Number 6.
Damn it. Okay, how about maybe the Lightning, big 90s, huh?
Lightning are actually 15th.
Jesus, dude. Islanders.
The Islanders aren't even in the top 16. Oh, actually, no, they're 13th. Never mind.
Okay. Damn it.
So you have
dude.
2 down.
2 down. There's no way it's like I feel like there's no way it's like Minnesota. There's no way it's gonna be like Anaheim, probably not. San Jose, no. Tampa Bay?
I can't.
No way, dude.
No, I can't believe you're blowing this right now. You're gonna be like, well, how did I not think of that?
I know. I'm just. There's no way it's a Canadian team.
Canadiens are number 3, and you said Canadian teams. Number 1, the Toronto Maple Leafs.
That's crazy,
$2.12 billion. So you're missing one team, and they are from a big city in the United States.
In the United States, big city. Flyers?
Chicago.
Blackhawks.
$1.44 billion.
And it's pretty crazy to think about that because the Maple Leafs have been horrible like since like the 80s.
Right. But
and
Signs of Life last year?
Yeah,
They
no,
made the
huge.
playoffs, right?
The past few years, they've been really on an uptick here. But I mean, you think of the Canadiens as well. They've been, not really that competitive since the early 2000s, I guess. And then, I mean, Chicago, obviously, yeah, they did a big run. That makes sense.
And then I think this will be an interesting exercise for you. How many teams are currently valued for less amount of dollars than what Snyder paid in 1999 for the Redskins? So under $800 million. How many franchises?
How many? I want to say one. I'll say maybe like it's Winnipeg, Ottawa, maybe.
So Ottawa,
right?
Yep. Not Winnipeg.
Not Winnipeg. I'd be interested to see what they value like Seattle and Vegas at, but probably more than that.
Seattle is $890 million.
So technically
Vegas
over.
is $975 million.
San Jose?
San Jose, yep, $755 million.
Oh, Arizona?
Arizona, last place, $465 million.
That's tough. I would be really interested to see like where Dallas falls, honestly.
Dallas is above that threshold.
They're above that?
They are at why am I missing this? Or are they not above that threshold? Stars. Okay, Stars, 915 million. So actually 14th middle of the pack.
How many am I picking here?
It was 10.
10 teams?
I didn't. That's actually originally that's what I had asked you. How many teams are?
That's right.
Less, but
it is 10
yeah,
teams
so
less
I'll
than 800
just-
million.
Yes.
Minnesota?
No.
No way.
So it's in this
Florida?
order. This is gonna surprise you here. So it's Nashville,
Oh,
St. Louis,
the
Anaheim,
Blues.
San Jose, Ottawa, Buffalo, Carolina, Columbus, Florida at number 31 at 595 million, and Arizona 465 million, number 32.
Wow, dude. We can buy Arizona.
Yeah, why not? And then last question here, and I know you're not going to get this one.
Damn it.
From last year,
Mm-hmm.
biggest valuation increase of 21%, and they're not at the top of this list either.
Wow. Biggest increase from last year?
Mhm.
Calgary.
No, Ottawa, 21%.
Damn it.
Still at 27, though, 655 million. Matthew says hello, Los Hombres.
He says,
Arizona Barnes.
whoa. You're just blowing past Matthew's comments here. Like, you don't even care. Arizona Barnes, Coyotes. Probably won't be worth $11.50 now.
And I'm glad he's actually here because we were just talking about this before the show. We gotta,
Derby, next week.
yeah. We gotta pick a day, but you're coming on, bud, next week.
Hell yeah.
Gaming Corner. We're doing MLB. Me and Tony are gonna play a game first, but then we want to bring you in afterwards,
Bugaboo, Tony.
for a derby. And we're going probably
Regarding
Pepe's
the Yankees.
pizza, a couple beers.
Very good.
So we got to pick a day, which works
Gentleman
for
Jack.
everyone. But we're looking forward to having you back. But yeah, I feel like I can look up franchise values all day, honestly.
Honestly, this is so much fun, dude.
I am so curious, Renee, actually, what this is because I smelled some. Could I have a description here before I take a bite?
It's Bonita.
It is Bonita.
Bonita, which is
No, Bonita. Not Bonita.
Ba
Yeah, pronounce it right. Bonita.
Bonita.
No.
I think you're putting too much emphasis on the I, maybe.
Bonita.
Bonita. This is one of those things.
Bonita.
I know I seem
It's
On the bond.
Bonita.
Bonita.
Bonita. Yeah, you're being a little critical here, Renee.
Yeah,
Usually,
yeah.
Renee is a little more,
I wish
casual,
Mike was
but-
here for that, honestly.
Yeah,
that whole
yeah,
thing.
so
'cause
do
I feel
I.
like he would have been.
Wait, but have I had this before or no?
You definitely had a piece from
Okay.
Mike's mom makes it. But it's just house that whole thing,
Mhm.
dude.
Starving.
Yeah, me too. But this has meat in it here. This is
Mhm.
something we haven't seen before. Normally it's just, the feta, the spinach, and the Matthew, Bonnie's is delicious.
Oh, we have a little format change.
Oh, Bia. And he goes, have your pizza, and he says, sounds great. Idea proposal here. I play the winner of Tony V. Barnes, 6 innings, then we do the derby. Thoughts?
Yes.
I kind of do enjoy that, honestly.
Done.
And then Matthew, 2 of his most favorite things: eggs and spinach, and then feta, 3 of my favorite things.
And then he says, "You're gonna have another beer? You're gonna have another one?"
Is that what he says?
Well, he said, "Oh, beer."
Oh, beer.
You missed that one.
No, I said oh, beer.
Anyway, Tony, so valuations, I love it. And that's why they actually have a show on the Yes Network, Forbes Sports Money, which is actually pretty good. Jerry
Wow.
Jones has been on it before. So definitely a good one. But we're talking NFL here, and we do have the Philadelphia Eagles at the Houston Texans, and obviously, the lone remaining undefeated team in the league here. So they're at 7-0, 3-0 on the road. Texans are 1-5-1, 0-2-1 at home. Spread 13.5 in favor of Philadelphia. Injury wise, they're just missing Josiah Scott, who is out. And then the Texans they have Desmond King questionable, and they're missing Grayland Arnold, Neville Hewitt, Justin McCray, and Christian Harris is questionable. So you look at these teams, Philly coming off the blowout win at home against the Steelers, the Texans coming off a 17-10 loss at the hands of the Tennessee Titans, a game that they gave up over 300 rushing yards. A game where Malik Willis threw one pass in the second half, but the Texans could not muster up a victory here. So obviously they're struggling. The ESPN Power Index giving the Houston Texans a 15.7% chance of winning. So we'll, of course, make this a part of our pick segment here, Tony. And you think about the Texans. Listen, the record is what it is, but Davis Mills isn't bad. And also their running back, is it Pierce? I gotta actually just look this up because this is what's his first name?
David, I think.
Is it?
No, was it Deontay? Something like that. Damian
Pierce. Obviously, he's talented as well. So they do, Brandon Cooks, who didn't end up getting traded, of course. So there is some talent to work with here. Yeah, Damian Pierce, 121 carries, 539 yards, 3 scores. So he's obviously done a good job. And we know about the explosive Philadelphia Eagles offense with Hurts, with Miles Sanders, with A.J. Brown, who went off last game, I believe, 3 touchdowns. And then second-year wide receiver Devonta Smith from the University of Alabama. So all of that being said, Tony, what is your forecast for tonight's game on Prime Video? Al Michaels, and of course, the legendary Kirk Herbstreit.
Man, I would say that, the Eagles, obviously, you look at the record, look at the talent. It's going to be the better team. How can you not go with the Eagles here tonight? I don't think the Eagles are going to be the team to overlook the Texans, to come out here flat. I'm sure that, they're very much in the mindset of not expecting anything, right? Not assuming they're going to win. They're going to go out there. They're going to play their game like they've been doing all season. That being said, though, Houston, like you mentioned, some of the talented players on their team, they could score, they put up 20 against the Raiders. They put up 24 against the Chargers, 20 against Chicago. I guess, obviously give me the Phillies. Give me the Eagles. I would say, obviously maybe like a 35-24.
So, but no, because we go spread here. So you're saying
13. That's 35-24. They don't cover 13. No.
Yeah. 13.5.
13.5. Excuse me.
So they need to win by 14.
13.5 is kind of outrageous, I think.
So you're going Texas
for the spread. Technically, yes.
Wow. All right. I thought we were going to have a heads up, but I'm actually going to do the same thing.
Oh, you are doing the same.
Yeah. But hey, listen, that's a big number to cover.
Huge.
And it's just the way I just look at it.
Who had it last week? Did they have it again Did they have it last week? Buffalo had, I think.
No, that's this week.
Oh, that is this week?
Jets.
Okay, never mind then.
And the Eagles had a big spread. Obviously, they covered it against the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's a big spread. And like I said, I just feel like, the Texans, can score here, and it could be possible overlook guys not as well rested as they would be on a Sunday playing on Thursday.
I also feel like if they're up by a lot, maybe third quarter, fourth quarter, like some guys are sitting for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Right.
And my thing too, exactly my point, where it could easily be a 10-point game. So let's say, let's set the scene here. So let's say they're up 34-17, kind of just trying to get through the game. And then the Texans score a garbage time touchdown, 34-24. Don't recover the onside kick. Game over. Don't cover. Done.
Bam.
Back door. They call that the back door cover, Tony. So, yeah, I'm actually going to go with that narrative. 34-24. And what was your score?
Isn't that what I said? 35-24.
It was 35. Interesting. 35, 34.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough, Tony. Fair enough. Yeah, so that will start week 9. Hopefully we get a competitive game. Obviously, though, some other things to watch on TV tonight. And we'll talk about those in a sec. But of course, game 5 of the World Series, the Rangers in action. Obviously some NBA games. I think actually only 2, because I know it's TNT Thursday. And then some college football. Not that we talk about that too often here, but just a lot to watch. But let's go now to the world of Major League Baseball.
2-2, he got him swinging. The back-to-back strikeouts for Robbie Ray.
There's damage right there. Shohei, way
Javier leaps up and grabs it.
Story spins and fires. Out at first.
There it goes. See ya. Home run, Aaron Judge.
I mean, really unbelievable last night as the Houston Astros, even the World Series, 2 games apiece, 5-0 over the Philadelphia Phillies.
Bullshit.
Strike 3 at Citizens Bank.
Bullshit.
Strike 3. And the Phillies do not pick up a hit, so a
Bullshit.
combined no-hitter. Houston pulls Christian Javier after 6 scoreless.
Bullshit.
6 no-hit innings, 97 pitches. They go to the bullpen. All the runs in this game scored in the 5th inning.
Crazy.
Ironically enough.
Yeah.
All started by a Yordan Alvarez, bases loaded, hit by
By
a pitch.
Oh,
So Aaron Nola once again does not answer the bell.
Bullshit.
Strike 3. Javier has obviously had a good postseason here. Dominating the Yankees in his last start. But all of that being said, Tony, I mean, what are your thoughts here? First of all, judging from the strike 3s, the bullshit. You think it was ridiculous that Javier doesn't start the 7th inning here? 97 pitches?
yeah, kind of outrageous. I mean, I guess, you could say, by then, obviously, the Phillies had no offense going. You had a pretty commanding lead going into the 7th here. I understand it wasn't no hitter, but, Dusty Baker obviously thinking of the rest of this, of the World Series here, and possibly having to use him maybe as a bullpen piece the next game, or starting him on short rest or whatever. So I don't think it's necessarily bullshit. I mean, it's a good move for the team.
I think it's bullshit.
Did Javier say something? Or
he actually said they were making fun of him on, I guess it was Boomer and Gio, but just that, like, God told him when he woke up yesterday he was going to throw a no-hitter. And first of all, they're like, well, you threw a part of a no-hitter. You didn't throw like a full no-hitter. And he was like waxing poetic about it.
Well, no-hitter's no-hitter, dude. Obviously.
No. Great. First
Boomer
combined
Gio.
no-hitter, World Series history, all of that. But the whole point being 5-0 lead, Tony. You're telling me the manager can't, Dusty. I know, Dusty, we all bow in front of Dusty. And it's like, you're telling me you can't let him get one runner on? Like, you have to pull him then? That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. I don't care. It's like, you're just going to get in trouble. Well, if he lets one runner on, even if he gives up a home run, 4-run lead, you go to the bullpen. I mean, ridiculous.
What if Dusty talked to Javier, was like, I'm going to take you out. Like, what do you feel about that? He goes, all right, take me out.
It's not what happened.
How do you know?
Even if that is what happened, that's weak. So that's pathetic. Nope, done. And you know who tweeted it? What was it? I think JT the Brick, who does. I know he like, it's, what is it with the Raiders? I don't know, but he covers the Raiders or whatever. He always does like a weekly interview with the coach. And then he has a show on Mad Dog Radio. And actually, so he got his position from winning a contest. He was a regular call-in to the Jim Rome show.
Jim Rome, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Jim Rome, dude.
Right.
We watched his, yeah.
But
God.
what I was getting at is JT's tweet was, you think Don Larson wanted to ask out of a game when he had a perfect game going? Obviously not. Had the only perfect game, MLB history, World Series. So yeah, I think it's weak. I know Michael knows it. I know Renee knows it too. You don't ask out of a no-hitter. That's pathetic. It's not like you had 120 pitches. 97, done. 6 innings. Yep. That's what Tony said. I mean, you would think, though, it wasn't like there was a conversation of, him fighting to get out of it as Michael shoots at a shade here.
I mean, Barnes, you're throwing shade, so why not?
No, but it's ridiculous. There's nothing to defend here. There's nothing to defend.
I think it's a stupid storyline, honestly. Why are you even talking about it?
I mean, because, Tony, I know the competitors that we would never even fathom going out of a postseason game with a manageable pitch count through 6 innings and not even give it a shot. I mean, that is so weak. It is unbelievable.
I guess. But again, if you're trying to save Javier for
what? This is game 4. What is he going to pitch, game 7? No, he's not. There's 3 games left.
Maybe you want him out of the bullpen.
Out of the bullpen?
Yeah. Out of the bullpen.
You can still pitch out of the bullpen if there's game 7 anyway. It's not going to make a difference.
What if he wants to throw a bullpen but game 6?
No. Nonsense. Such
Safe play. Safe play. I like it. Let's go. Good job, Dusty.
no, and Dusty's supposed to be old school too. That's what I don't like. Really ridiculous. Astros are not winning the World Series now. Let me tell you that. All right.
Just because of that?
Just because of that. And they go with the human home run on the mound tonight, and Justin Verlander in the World Series. I think his ERA is around 7, and he hasn't had a win yet in the World Series. Obviously going against your guy, Thor, also known as Noah Syndergaard here.
Not my guy.
Making his first World Series start since 2015 with the New York Mets. So what are your thoughts here? Houston, I guess, just because of Verlander, but obviously we know Phillies, despite last night, have played well in the postseason. This was their first loss at home, with Syndergaard here. So, I mean, what are your thoughts about tonight's really crucial Game 5 here before we get an off day, before we go back to Houston for Game 6 and possibly Game 7?
Well, let me tell you, I don't think there's going to be any no-hitters tonight. Honestly, I think both pitchers are probably going to get popped.
Wow.
I don't think Verlander is bad as Syndergaard. I think Syndergaard could have an outing that lasts like 3 2/3, bro. 5 earned runs. Verlander, maybe 5 innings, 3 or 4 earned runs. Same line he had the first start, I feel. Hopeful, obviously, for a better line from him, I think he does deserve to have, a quality start here in the World Series, given the seasons he's had. But I just think Syndergaard, I mean, I don't know. I understand, you look at Syndergaard this season. I mean, I feel like he had so many opportunities to kind of prove himself, and he just didn't. I feel like he backed down from a lot of big moments in his career. Maybe it's just me being biased, but anytime he was slated to pitch against the Mets, it was always, we'll give him one more day of rest, and it's just like what is he afraid of? I feel like he's gonna go out there, he's gonna be a little shaky. He's had some good starts this season for sure. You see some starts that was 6 innings, 1 earned run, or 7 innings, 2 earned run, stuff like that. But I think on the big stage, I think he's gonna fold, honestly, hard. And I think it's gonna be a hitter's game tonight. But I think what we've been seeing, a lot of back and forth in this World Series. I think the Phillies are gonna take this one tonight. I think their bat's gonna be more alive here. Astros before that 5th inning, it was 15 scoreless innings they had played. Like I said, before that 5th inning, and I think the Phillies are gonna come out here. Everyone's gonna be swinging hard. Everyone's gonna be swinging for the long ball. There's gonna be a lot of home runs this game. But like I said, I think it just at the end of the day, I think Phillies come up on top.
What's the score?
6-5.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to say 6-0. So another shutout.
Oh.
And Syndergaard, Michael, in the comments, if you
He
want to
says,
actually update.
ha, ha, ha. Noah going to dominate. Thor bringing the hammer. Going to say 8 innings. Look at the camera and say, that's how it's done, Mets. Stop it, honestly. Just stop it. Stop it, bro. Noah Syndergaard has been a fucking embarrassment of a person the past few years. Being the baby that he is. Requesting trades, not wanting to pitch, giving the extra day off, knocking the Mets for having a combined no-hitter, and then next outing he goes 2 innings, okay? He's been inconsistent this season, like I mentioned. Yeah, the good starts, sure. Maybe he still has some of what he had, back in 2015, 2014, around there. But regardless, he's a baby. He's immature. He's not a professional. In my opinion, he doesn't deserve to be on any World Series winning team right now. He is the shell of what he used to be. And like I said, he's going to absolutely crumble. He's going to fold like a bad suit.
So I'm going to say 8 innings, 10 strikeouts, 2 hits, no runs. And I think this is a big game for him, as he approaches free agency. Once again, and we look, he's been used as a reliever up to this point in the postseason, has pitched 5 1/3, 3 hits, 1 run, 4 strikeouts. So listen, a lot to prove, and I think he's going to step up here And it's funny. I know you obviously opposite side of things here, digs at the Mets, all of that, but kind of rooting for him because I always liked him. Always thought his stuff was nasty, and I just don't want to think here at just over 30 years old here that this career is done. And not more is coming. I do feel like Thor is going to return next year. We're going to see the radar gun back up to 95, 96, those double-digit strikeout games because there's just too much talent there. So Phillies 6-0, Tony, taking a commanding 3-2 lead. Houston, Saturday night, they will be hoisting the Commissioner's Trophy. Mark my words. All right,
dude. We'll see.
Just as
lot right on this game, dude.
As long as we're all on the same page.
We're not on the same page.
Well, we are. The Phillies are going to win.
Oh,
that is the same page. But let's go now to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here's Matthews. Scores! Patrick goal!
My goodness, this is a great shot. Big hit on the far side by McCarr. He flattens Jordan Stahl. Oh my goodness. That's the top right back. Terrifying and robbed by Shesterkin. That's brilliance from Igor Shesterkin. It's a breakaway to win it in overtime. McDavid scores the winner in overtime.
All right, Tony. So very small slate last night.
Very small.
A lot more games in the NHL going on tonight.
And we both blew it last night. We
both blew it. And you're the only point that was picked up yesterday. So you moved to 30, I believe. Let me just check.
33?
33 to my 38. No, 34 to 38.
Let's fucking go.
Only a couple days left here. But we saw the Maple Leafs 5-2 over the Flyers. Didn't trail in this game, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I don't think they did ever.
So Tavares, the hat trick too.
I know.
Which
early
was
and
big.
often from him, dude.
And the Flyers, I mean, I think it's just a tough spot, back-to-back overtime game, the customs, the travel, after leaving MSG, and then you go back up tender. I'm sorry, but that's one thing, it's tough
that is kind of whack
as
for
the
backup
NHL
tender.
is. That's the one weak point I think they have is the necessity to go to the backup tender. You don't see that with any of the other positions, but they consistently go backup tender.
I don't think Daily Faceoff showed me that, by the way. Tender.
So nice. So, Carter Hart's going to get the start, right? But like, what's in your recollection, all the years you've been watching hockey, out of the 82 games, what's the most you've seen a starting tender? I mean, did Wah have any like 79, 80 start seasons?
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, I wasn't really following Patrick Wah that much back then. I mean, it was yeah, I guess it kind of, a little bit depends on the schedule, a little bit depends on how the team is doing, I would say, yeah, I want to, it's tough to say with the Rangers too, because they always had a good backup. I feel like Antti Ranta always got like good looks, obviously. Georgiev did too. Talbot always did. So I want to say they all had around like maybe 20 starts probably,
Yeah.
So I think it's been basically that ever since I've been starting to watch hockey. And honestly, I should have known better yesterday because typically teams on the back-to-back days will start their backup goalie. So, whatever.
But we saw the Rangers last week. Shesterkin 2 games in a row, 2 wins.
It's Shesterkin. So
because it's just like I would love to know too, and like I know you have to do it over the course of the full season, but even last season, what the winning percentage of the teams using a backup tender. And I know some of the guys, weren't bad, and I think Georgiev had a winning record last year, right?
Yeah, actually, the statistics do show, especially on back-to-back days, that your backup tender has a higher winning percentage
than if you
put in your starter back-to-back days.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's why they do it, because of the stat. That's why they do that.
Hockey's not an analytical sport.
No, never.
And, so that kind of does in the Flyers here. And the Maple Leafs, not the best start in the world here. Technically, I mean, I think it's crazy that they put the overtime losses in a separate column, but technically they're under 500 with this win. But yeah, I think that was big. And speaking of big, Tony, 6-3, the Sabres over the Penguins. And once
Huge.
again, the backup tender. And I know, Casey DeSmith, I mean, I know you're kind of high on.
A big playoff appearance last year.
Yeah, for what, like a minute, and then he got hurt. So did that have something to do with this? I mean, the Penguins did put up 3. I mean, it is the Sabres here.
I mean, it was that third period was an absolute fucking landslide,
5
dude.
goals.
5 unanswered goals.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have 5 unanswered goals because of a bad goaltender, you know? I mean, it's blown defenses, there's no offense, like.
But where's Jake Gensel and Chris Letang? I mean, where are they in this?
I mean, Gensel had a goal last night.
Oh,
I think Letang might have been out. Oh,
no, Letang played 1 assist.
Yeah. 1 assist here. Yeah, that's a good question. And even Crosby, no points, no assist.
And then how the offense? See, the Pittsburgh offense last year, I feel like would do the disappearing act. I mean, in this type of game, your opponent scores 6 goals and you only get up 21 shots.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that a little pathetic? No.
Yeah, that is very pathetic. And you're winning faceoffs here. Like, why can't you can't hold the puck? You're playing a little bit more physical. You sucked in the power play here. Yeah, it's tough, dude.
Take a guess. Percent full last night at KeyBank for this game. Percentage.
Oh, shit. What did I say yesterday?
Did you say 50?
I think
64. So 12,201 out of a capacity of 19,070. However,
pretty solid.
Winning 7 out of your first 10 games, you keep this up.
People
I think
will show.
Yeah,
especially you build it, Brian. They will come.
And then especially if they're going to make the playoffs, and then once the Bills season ends, I think that
we got to get up there for a game, dude.
Oh yeah.
Go to Buffalo. We talk about the Wings, dude.
Yeah, man.
And then there's probably nothing else really to do there.
Probably a casino. I'm pretty sure there is a casino.
Gotta be a casino.
Yeah. Imagine if we could tie it in. Bills playoff game, Sabres game, casino.
Maybe a trip to the New York side of Niagara Falls.
Yeah. I've only done the Canadian side.
Really? I've never done either side.
There you go.
And
then how about the offensive standouts for Buffalo here? I mean, you look at it. Olofsson, is that how you say it? Olofsson, 8 goals this year, Tuch with 7, and Thompson with 7. I mean, that's a lot. And at this point in the season, through 10 games, and they're scoring almost a goal a game.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome, dude. They're on fire.
Any of those guys come over from Vegas?
No, I don't think so.
Who do you know? Who is the guy? Like, who was the big part of that trade?
I don't know. I think it was mainly draft picks. I thought. Third round. Let's see, dude. Yeah. Oh, it was Tuck.
Okay.
Oh wait, the return for Buffalo. Yeah, is Peyton Krebs. Tuck, a future first round draft pick, future second rounder.
So we look at Alex Tuck, 26 years old, and actually, ironically enough, from Syracuse, New York here. So, he was a first-round pick back in 2014 by the Minnesota Wilds.
Pretty crazy how much he's moved since then.
Yeah. Well, I think,
lands in Buffalo, and he does really well.
Hockey's like baseball, though.
Yeah.
With the movement before you even get there.
Definitely. And I would say, honestly, like, I know a lot of people were upset with Buffalo for letting Jack Eichel kind of walk, I guess. But hey,
good spot right now.
Look at them now. And Vegas is doing well too. So I feel like,
when will you become a believer
that the Sabres can
make the playoffs?
Make the playoffs?
Yeah.
January, if they're still doing well.
They just got to be over 500.
Yeah.
So Dan Granato, any familiarity there?
It sounds familiar.
He's their head coach.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, so I guess I
don't know much about him.
He was the interim coach last year after they fired Ralph Kruger. Went 9-16-3. And then they removed the tag in June. And here he is. Oh, actually, okay. No, that was in 2020, actually. So 2021, last year, first full season, 32-39. 11 overtime losses.
That's not good. Barry Trotz?
Trotz, dude. It seems like he's retired, no?
Yeah, I think it's hanging up the suit.
So a lot of games to pick from tonight, and we always start with you, but and coincides with obviously your pick here. But by the way, Trotz, maybe some interest from the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh yeah.
They're not happy with the start. Should have been 7-3. Head coach Sheldon Keefe under fire despite a good record with the team, 120, 54, and 21.
I mean, come on. Let me give him a little leash here.
It's Toronto. They have a history, right? Back in the day.
Yeah, and not to mention they I feel like every year, yeah, they make the playoffs, but they should be doing better.
Right, like last year.
Yeah.
But that being said, Tony, a lot of games. We'll break them down. We'll make our picks. But let's start with the Rangers here. The Bruins coming off an off day. Shesterkin will be in net. Obviously, you want to see some more offense after one goal played through 3.5 periods, basically. So what do you see tonight?
What do I see tonight? Well, obviously, no backup tenders here tonight. That is for sure. Pretty tough spot, obviously, for the Rangers. They're minus 125. I understand they're at home. Obviously, great team here. 6-3-2. A couple tough losses in overtime and a shootout. That record doesn't really show how good this team really is. Of course, they have a very tough assignment here battling against the Bruins. This game will be my first pick. I'm going with the Rangers. I do firmly believe that they're going to come out here and change up what they did a little bit in terms of how they played against the Flyers, and that they're going to come out here. I'm not going to commit any stupid turnovers. Okay. They talked about it post game after the Flyers, just giving up the puck stupidly. It's just stupid little mistakes like that that a Bruins team will definitely take advantage of. You got to come out firing hot like they did with the Flyers, lay down some bodies here, win some faceoffs, but just keep the puck. That little adjustment right there, I think, will really kind of change the course of this game here. I understand the Bruins 9-1, but they're coming into the real Garden here at 9-1. They're going to be leaving 9-2. I say the Rangers spreading the wealth, across the board here. We have so many people who are able to score. I'm looking for, obviously, the typical people. Kreider, I would love to see him follow up that, game-winning goal against the Flyers tonight with another goal. Zibanejad maybe on the power play. Panarin, keep it at maybe a goal and 3 assists. Assists like from Fox, from Trouba too. I want to see those defensemen kind of get into some offensive plays as well. Give me the Rangers winning this one. I'm going to say 5-3.
Yeah, it's funny, obviously, of course, we're always going to be confident in our team, but, 3-game winning streak now, right?
Mm-hmm.
3 games.
3 games.
You think, oh, geez, the Bruins, so it's obviously a tough matchup, but then the Bruins winning 9 out of 10, obviously they're due, they're not going to win all of their games. So that's why you feel pretty good. Olmark, though, undefeated, 7-0 as a starter.
Crazy.
So
it's okay, dude. Penguins almost beat them. I think overtime, right? That was the comeback victory in overtime, right?
In overtime.
So they've come close to a few losses here. They've gotten, on the lucky, or I guess the better side of some overtime matchups here in some games. But I think it stops now, dude. Rangers never back down from a fight, dude. Brian Reeves.
Yeah. No, I love it.
Land is gonna be fired up.
Over or under 35 goals for Kreider this year?
Over.
With confidence, really. Did he even have 35 before last year?
Yeah. Oh, but before last year, over 35.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I don't think so. Maybe like a 32 or 33 goal
because 35 is actually like a good number. I know we're basing it on 50 of
right, because last year it's ridiculous, but 35 is something very doable for him. I'm telling you.
All right, so something to keep an eye out for. A lot of different places, that I could go here. But, obviously, at the end of the day, it's about picking up some points. So when I look at this, I have something circled in my head, but I'm not going to disclose that just yet.
Oilers, you're going Oilers. I know you're going to go Oilers, dude.
I'm not going to do that just yet. But let's go actually with the Flames. I was disappointed in that loss last time out, and I just think the Preds. I think they should be able to beat them handily. We've mentioned Kadri, not to mention Markstrom. Yeah, they've lost 2 in a row here. I mean, the Kraken was embarrassing. The Oilers, you understand. But I'm gonna say they're gonna handle Nashville here. Let's say it's 7-3 Flames over the Preds.
Wow, dude. All right, dude. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take that Oilers game honestly before Brian does. And you know what, Michael? I'm looking at you, bro. I hope you listen to me because I'm picking the Devils here. They're going to be in Edmonton. The battle of the 7-3 teams. New Jersey has been surprisingly good. And I don't want to say I was talking about it last year that they're going to get better with some time, but New Jersey 7-3-0 start right here. Edmonton, obviously, we know their offense, but we've seen them have some lackluster, inconsistent offensive productional games here. And you look at the Devils, you look at their leaders. I mean, Jesper Bratt, 16 points in 10 games, 4 goals, 12 assists. He's all over the place. He was a phenomenal skater last season. Just couldn't kind of find his way, but he definitely matured a lot over the offseason. And the goaltending, Vanacek actually is slated, not confirmed, but as per Daily Faceoff, he could be starting tonight's game. He's 3-1 in the season, already pitched a shutout. 2.08 goals against on average, a 903 save percentage. And we know, Jack Campbell, although he is 5-2, he relies a lot on that Edmonton offense to kind of counteract some goals he gives up. He has a 3.91 goal against average. That's really bad, honestly. Almost 4 goals against. That's crazy. And I think with New Jersey, I understand obviously they've had a hot start, but I think Edmonton will kind of expect New Jersey to fold a little bit here, and I think they're going to be fighting pretty hard. We've seen them have some really gritty games, have some great puck control, have some great physicality out of their games. They're going to come in here. Their defense is going to try and shut down McDavid. It's going to be tough for sure. Shut down Kane, shut down Draisaitl, but I think it's one of these games. Edmonton at home, dude. They're going to kind of, I think, maybe just meander into the stadium here, into the arena. Expect the victory. Have a very lowly offensive night. New Jersey takes them by surprise. Edmonton only minus 160 here. Take the dog. Devils 3-2.
Speaking of dogs, and I know at one point or another this year it's going to bite, but for now we're playing the hot hand, and we saw the modern day Patrick Waugh last game out, 41 saves. This time at home, Dallas on the road is minus 220, so Arizona here at the friendly confines of Arizona State, not getting the love from the bookmakers, and I don't see why. I just think, this is a different Arizona team. I think they're going to contend for a playoff spot. Obviously, Vizmelka the star, Clayton Keller a nice game last game, and then you have Gottisbeer, who has 4 goals this year as well. So between him, Keller. I think they can keep Robertson and the boys at bay. Robertson, the leading goal scorer on Dallas, with 5 goals. And Ottinger, I know 0.952 save percentage this year. I don't think he plays as well as that tonight. So I'm going to say Coyotes here, 4-2 at home, 1 game away from being 500.
All right, dude. My next pick here, I'm taking another dog at home.
Dogs
mind
are
you.
barking today.
The dogs are barking. It's the Thursday dog show. I'm taking Chicago here. They're hosting the LA Kings. We talk about Chicago, how much the franchise is worth here. I understand they're on a 4-game losing streak, I believe. Their last win was actually against the Panthers. Surprise win, but a couple of tough overtime shootout losses here. A loss to Buffalo, but we know Buffalo's good, right? Regardless, you're still getting good production out of Kane, out of Taves. I think tonight it'll be one of those lowly nights where Chicago comes out hot, and Kane hat trick. Taves 2 goals and an assist. I think they're gonna be running the show tonight at home. They're kissing 500. They're 4-4-2. Just having those tough 2 overtime losses recently. Give me Chicago here. I'll say 4-2.
And as we continue the trend of the Dog Thursday, You have the Jets here -220 at home against the Canadiens, and I think that's a little too rich.
That is very
for Winnipeg
rich.
here.
Bet the house.
Suzuki, 5 goals, 6 assists this year. Marty St. Louis, that Ranger blood in him, I think will be installed in the Canadiens tonight. And I think, Allen can give them a solid game in net. Interesting, Allen this year, the starter, because last year, I believe, Montembeau was the starter, right?
Yes.
So I guess Allen taking over for him. Hellebuck, I mean, 9.31 save percentage this year. But I just like the talent on the Canadiens, and I think we'll see by the end of the year, they'll be, ahead in the standings over the Winnipeg Jets. So give me the Canadiens here. Suzuki, the hat trick, 5-2 over Winnipeg.
All right. My next and final pick, right?
Yes.
I really want to go with another dog, honestly, and then I'm going to do it. Yeah, why not? I'll take Detroit tonight in Washington. Detroit.
Kemper.
Kemper?
Kumper or Kumper? Kemper.
Kumper or Kumper? It's Darcy Kumper.
I thought it was Kemper.
You think so?
No, it's probably Kumper. But is it Kemper?
Anyway, but is it Kemper? Or is it Kemper? We have to look that up, dude. We got a research department on it. Anyway, Detroit, Husso has been really good for them. Again, I mentioned, pitching the shutout. He's 3-1-1 in the season, 240 goals against, 926 save percentage. He saves a lot of shots. He keeps Detroit in the game a lot. We mentioned the, lack of performance from Darcy on Washington's side. Not to mention, it seems like Ovechkin really has not, gotten going. I understand he did have 9 points in the first 11 games here. But I mean, that's not really that great for Ovechkin. On the other side of things, Dylan Larkin has 11 points, 5 goals, 6 assists here, killing it on the power play. Kubalik as well is leading the team with assists, 7 assists, 4 of them on the power play. So the power play is very, very elusive and really good too. So Detroit, be careful. Or really Washington, be careful of those, undisciplined players, causing power plays. And on the injury report here, TJ Oshie's out. John Carlson is out for Washington as well. That's a big wing, a big defenseman for them. So give me Detroit here. I say they honestly, decidingly win this game. I'm going to say 5-1.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So we're continuing the dog theme to close it out here. The Blues at home against the Islanders, -120. I think the Islanders are a better team this year. I mean, record-wise, obviously, they've been better. And I think the Islanders, after a disappointing year last year, a run almost to the Stanley Cup final the year before, they're looking to get themselves, back in position. And I definitely think, there's some talent on this team. Obviously, Brock Nelson comes to mind. And it's kind of
Brock Nelson,
and it's kind of interesting too.
I do.
That left winger Matt Martin is actually the son-in-law of former Jet quarterback, former league MVP Boomer Esiason.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
I had no idea.
Kenny Albert kept going to a clip of him last time they played the Rangers, and Boomer was in attendance at the Garden.
So Matt Martin is married
to Sydney, who was obviously formerly Esiason,
right?
His daughter. Yes.
Oh no.
So that's just kind of ironic. But yeah, I just feel like the talent is there for them, and the Blues. I don't know. I don't know if they're trending in the right direction. Sorokin, obviously one of the better tenders in the Eastern Conference. So give me the Isles here with the upset, 4-2 to close out Dog Thursdays. So
yeah,
good stuff, Tony. Very good stuff. But we know what time it is. Very good there. The Prism Pack Reveal. Michael here in studio. It just feels like something big is on the horizon. Is this the vaunted LeBron James card? Is that what we're about to get right now?
Oh wow, dude. Let's see it.
Open it up. Well, I actually thought for a second. All right. Actually, a guy that was on TNT last night, or not TNT, ESPN. They had the doubleheader last night. But from the Cleveland Cavaliers, Seti Osman. So a guy versatile, can score,
Never heard
can
of him.
shoot, little defense. Didn't have the best game last night, but definitely has some talent here. And a guy who has a couple brothers in this league from the Indiana Pacers, Justin Holiday. So listen, obviously not a star, but a guy that I think, is a pretty good role player and can carve out a nice niche wherever he plays. And I could see him being traded to a contending team that's in contention to win a title. And these last two, I could just tell you, Michael, you're not going to be disappointed. I know we came in a little light here. We'll go with we'll save the best for the last, but this is still a good one you're going to be excited about. From the Memphis Grizzlies, Jaren Jackson Jr. Puppy. So I don't do from the other packs. Do we have him or no? So that's a first. Jackson Jr. obviously looking to form some type of dynasty with Ja, one of the better young wing players in the league. And lastly, a guy that will be a Hall of Famer, but his eligibility hasn't come up just yet. We see him all over TNT.
The legend.
From the Miami Heat, Dwayne Wade.
Legend.
So
That's pretty dope.
Wade,
The Cube.
obviously, LeBron, was always my favorite player, but D Wade, I have to say, from when he burst onto the scene and made the finals, as a 23, 24-year-old player, all the flashy plays, the dunks, the layups, the game winners, always really liked D Wade. And I always respected too, because this is a league. And obviously when he came in, it wasn't quite like this, but where, you're a guard, you need to be hucking threes. He's always been a guy that's relied on athleticism, smarts, driving to the basket, and of course, winning those championships. I believe 3-time champion. The one with Shaq, the two with LeBron. So D Wade, one of the legends in this game. So I think that was a very strong pull. And then we just have one order of business here. Me and Tony did make our picks for Mayakoba yesterday.
That's right.
I believe I had Finau, you had Scheffler.
Correct.
Let's see. So right now, Scheffler -3 through 8 holes.
All right.
That's 2 shots adrift of the co-leaders, David Lingmerth and Scott Piercy, who are 5 under par.
Damn, good for them.
And let's see, Tony. Where are you, Mr. Finau?
Oh no, you keep going down.
Hopefully he just didn't tee off yet. Kind
Oh.
of seems like he didn't tee off yet. Yeah, I don't think he teed off yet. Let me finish, Tony. Wow, he is all the way down here.
You hasn't teed off?
I thought he was full of shit. I've mentioned to you this before, but it's like I don't like how the online version of PGAtour.com can't search for a player, but on the app you can. Like, what sense does that make, Tony?
None at all, dude.
So let's go to the leaderboard here. The bugaboo, Tony. Of course, little extra time as it's loading here. All right. So oh man. All right. So Mr. Finau tees off at 12:19. So there you go, Tony. So not out of the woods just yet. But that being said, anything else here as we head into this Dog Thursday?
Oh, wow, dude. Never underestimate anybody. No, I mean, not really. I mean, that's basically it. We had a great episode of Screen Time yesterday. Talked about a lot of the new Disney or Christmas movies, I should say, coming out. Christmas Story, the new Santa Claus movie. Obviously, Brian is not excited about any of these. But it's interesting, obviously a lot of Christmas talk now that Halloween is over. So check that out. And any other episode of Screen Time, another episode tomorrow, actually, with Jay Bird in the house, as well as Manny and myself and Michael. I'm sure Renee will be around a little bit as well. And then, yeah, man, be on the lookout for more gaming corners too. Go check out the PGA Gaming Corner. Okay. Brian and I play each other. All right. It's a great time. Some good laughs, some good golf, good game. And we're only going to get better from there.
Yeah, and I was just happy. I went to the turn at 3 over par, finished at 2 under. Obviously, a big eagle putt, a sidewinder that happened to find the bottom of the cup, and I'm just excited For the upcoming gaming corners we have, and we're putting together something, of course, like we discussed with Matt earlier, for some MLB The Show next week, some Peppies, and as he says, the beer. So that's something to keep an eye out for.
I'm really glad you're kind of, expanding your horizons outside of just sports,
Well, it's funny though, because
There's sports games. Yes, that was the joke.
I think you kind of thought about that on the fly. You're like, oh, actually, that does make sense. Nah, Tony, I'm just kidding. It's so serious all the time. But once again, really like to thank everybody for tuning in and continuing to comment, like, what a show, what a life, and subscribe, as well as checking out the archives on the YouTube page. Tony, Michael, Renee, all in costume, as well as the merch, downtimetv.com. Everybody enjoy the day, enjoy the games, and we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.